picked 30 pounds of cotton for my dad. You know,
3 years old?
30 pounds of cotton. I've got in the car.
My gosh.
I
When
didn't
you
know
were-
they had child labor back then.
When you were
Was-
3?
Yeah, they hadn't made any laws back then.
But anyway, then we moved from that area, which I don't know. I guess my dad just didn't own the farm. I think he just ran it. We had a couple of mules in the cotton patch. And then we moved to Austin when I was about a year and a half old. Lived in a no, I was 6 years old. We lived in a place called Bow Valley, which is right in a little suburb of Austin. And we moved out to a place called Del Valley.
All right.
And Del Valley he had rented this house, I think it was $500 a month or something like that. But it had acreage. We grew cane and grazed cows and pigs,
Huh?
all that kind of stuff. Picked cotton too. And when I was 6 years old, so I started in school at 6. I went to grade school until about the 7th. And then we moved into the city of Austin on 408 Bannon Street. And then I finished my, I got to go into the high school. And that was about, 2 miles away or something like that.
Wow.
And we had wonderful teachers in high school.
That's so important. Really important.
Amazing teachers. So when I was in 1939, I 13 in 1939. The war started in 1941. I graduated from high school in 39, and I started college at the University of Texas, and applied for. Well, when the war started in 1941, I was already in my second year. I applied for.
West Point?
No, I applied for. Well, no, West Point. I just volunteered to go.
The war, yeah.
And they didn't accept my application. Well, I never heard from them. And then they came up with a program where you stayed in school and got your degree. You could go in with the Navy with an instant voluntary probationary. So in 39, I finished high school, went to school in Austin, at University of Texas, and finally got out in 1943. In 1943, I went from Austin.
I brought the tomato biscuit. I hope
That's
okay.
great. Yes. That's a cup.
No, I just made it a bowl because you guys were all sharing, but I charged you for just a cup.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Nice.
And there's some spoons.
Well, this one is basically
Anyway, I
for
went-
you, Bill. We're not
I
just
went
letting you
from,
share
well,
this
it's
one.
just-
So you
So
didn't
you
go.
got out of
Then
high
I
school
got
and
out
you
of
went
high
into...
You didn't go till 43.
I got
To the
out-
war.
I didn't go into the war. I got my degree in 43 and left from Austin and went all the way up to New York and entered the Navy as an ensign voluntary probationary.
Wow.
Then went back and forth. And the key part of this whole thing is that part of my training session with the Navy sent me to Washington, D.C. for a naval training session.
Right.
And that's where I met Blaine
Ah.
Ulmer.
Okay.
Ah,
And Blaine Ulmer, his father was treasurer of Monsanto. And when the war was over, he came back. Well, then I went on and went through the Portsmouth Naval Yard and back on the route to go to Okinawa. I met Phyllis. We got married.
Right.
And then when Blaine came back from his Pacific War assignment, he came through St. Louis and we saw him. And we took up on a trip.
Sure. Why not?
And then we went to St. Louis from San Francisco en route to Texas. We went into work. And that's when I met Blaine and his family. And just interviewed Monsanto. That was the biggest
Single.
decision I ever made in my life, except for marrying Phil.
Which was a good decision.
Because then we came back to St. Louis and we became friends. And I joined Monsanto, and it was a great company. And
Nice.
had everything you could imagine as advantage from that
Decision from that, yeah.
corporation.
Big corporation.
And places, well, I lived worldwide. I went to at least charter plants in Japan, lived in Argentina, and Colombia, and Caracas, and Montreal,
Wow.
Wow.
and brought up these beautiful kids.
Yeah.
It was,
That's something.
I had a fabulous, career and life.
Well, you were lucky, and you also worked really hard at both together. You know.
I did work hard, and I used to pick cotton, crawling on my knees on these long cotton patches. I think the most cotton I ever picked, 165 pounds in a 12-hour day, and I was getting paid